Welcome to First Down Sports. I'm your host, Ray Dunn. At the table tonight, down at the end of the table, my brother Chris.
How's it going, eh?
He's the birthday boy this week, everybody. He's 45. 45. My saying used to be 45 and still alive. Chris is saying is 45 and trying to survive.
Let's try to take two.
So, he's 45 trying to survive. Also at the table with me is our producer co-host Andy Jardine.
Yo, happy birthday, Chris.
Thanks, buddy.
Happy birthday.
Andy has been relishing this show for the last couple weeks, waiting to unleash his draft knowledge on us tonight.
Listen, we're gonna find out if
I like relish.
If anything can bring us to blows, it's gonna be this. Someone's getting punched.
No. Also, sitting at the table next to the main table, we've moved things around a little bit, is my little brother, our sound and audio guy, Nick Dunn.
Hey, guys.
Yo.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Thanks.
Not only is Nick sound and audio guy, but Nick is now a YouTube star.
Sensation.
Nick, why don't you tell us a little bit about your new YouTube venture?
Just doing a little fishing channel.
Little fishing channel?
Didn't start off too good the first time, but hey, water's cold, levels are high. Can't catch fish, son.
I thought you were playing golf on your fishing channel.
No.
No? No. Okay. Interesting. Let's talk about our sponsors real quick on our new setup here. If it's a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night, make sure you go get yourself some Moose Light. This stuff is scary good.
Scary good.
And if you're a sports team organization, you need hats, shirts, jackets, whatever the case might be, go see our buddies at Doyle's. Doyle's Corporate Image.
Doyle rules.
And lastly, if your kitchen sucks, make sure you go out and get yourself some Done Right sauce. Andy, take it.
You can quit your bitching and you can fix your kitchen.
There you go.
With that sauce.
Speaking of bitching, we're getting a lot from Luke LeBlanc. The sound is horrible,
apparently
guys.
the sound's all crackly. So let's see if we can
I don't get it.
Figure that out.
Luke, you let us know if it sounds a little better, buddy.
Nick, are you sure it's not your sound?
No.
Hold on.
Yeah, you sure it's not yours?
Is anybody else?
Listen.
Nick,
Luke, you let us know if it sounds a little better, buddy.
Are you sure it's not your sound?
Yeah, there's some kind of weird little noise going on.
There's a little bit of something going on.
Some
Not sure.
crickets.
where are you recording? Nick, just check the board. Are you recording? Well, that wouldn't affect Facebook, though.
Yeah, it doesn't show anything on the board when nobody's talking.
We're just going to roll with it.
Okay.
Deal with it,
It's
Lukey.
Luke's computer.
It's Luke's computer.
Luke's computer.
It hacked our system. Thanks, Luke.
We have a big night tonight. We've been talking to you guys about this for the last couple weeks. The NFL draft is 1 week away, and for us draft nerds, we can't wait for this. So we are going to be doing our live individual mocks tonight. We've done a FDS combined mock for the top 10 picks. We're going 15 picks deep tonight. And we're each going to give our individual picks on this. And at the end of the day, we're going to watch the draft. And the person that has the least amount of picks correct in their 15 picks is going to be doing some kind of food challenge, Andy tells me.
Now, I want this on the record of what you're going to be doing. Because I know how much you are of not doing what all of us are doing.
Yeah.
I want you to do the same thing we're going to do.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I won't have to.
Oh, maybe you won't, but if you lose, you lose.
So all Ray has to do is not lose, and he'll be fine. We don't want to kill him. So
You
the
have to do
spicy...
the exact same stuff. I don't care.
Well,
No.
I got a bit of a compromise for him, actually. So we talked last week. I don't know if you remember this part of the show, but I said, how about dog treats, right? Yeah. So he actually said okay to dog treats. I started figuring out.
No.
You did.
I know, but I know where you're going, and my answer is no.
What?
See?
Answer's no to what?
Canned dog food.
No.
All right.
No, I wouldn't do that to you,
No,
right?
no.
So a certain someone reached out to me and thought dog treats are way too easy. I mean, we've all
Most
tried a
dogs are easy.
dog treat, which of course we have, right?
Yeah.
So they started giving me interesting things that Ray hates.
Who is this somebody?
Don't
Just
worry
so I
about
know.
it.
All
So
right.
they started giving me interesting things that Ray hates, and I mean, I think we all know that Ray has the diet of a 4-year-old. Like Ray makes Donald Trump look like a foodie. So there's a lot of things that Ray absolutely hates. So what we're going to do, Ray, is we're going to get you to choose from 3 things.
All right.
Okay? So, and I don't know, do you want to do that on this show or?
Well, give me the 3 things and I'll think about it.
Well, okay. So if you want to do the dog treats, you can.
Okay.
But you have to eat 2 whole dog treats and you have to dip them in sour cream.
Oh. Sour cream.
Yeah. Because
That's disgusting.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Now,
I'm
the
not-
next one is we may have to get you to eat some eggplant
Oh. Come on.
This is too easy.
with some.
This is crazy.
It
This
may
is
not
eating
delicacy.
that. No.
It may not be for him, Chris.
No.
Don't worry. We'll
I'm
come
not
up.
eating that.
Whatever we. Oh yes, you are. You
No.
can't say no to real food.
Oh. All right. I'm
Anyway,
going back to my
well-
conservative.
Anyway, we're gonna get to it. He's gonna eat something that he absolutely hates, which is everything except for child food.
I say
And-
we make you a blender of something that you don't know what it is. You
Oh,
gotta
gee.
drink it, and it
Listen.
can't be something that's gonna kill you. It's gonna be
Anyways.
gross as hell.
We promise it won't kill you. Anyway, we'll work it out. Me and Chris are going to eat something super spicy during the show if we lose, and we have to continue and do the full show with that. And Ray, we're going to do something. We'll figure it out.
nice little
But
You're allowed to. All right.
His
you know what?
stomach's a little too sensitive.
We'll figure it out. But you're allowed to have a drink while you're eating or throughout the show afterwards.
Well, depending on how bad it is, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
you have to be able to function.
I don't think you get to do any rules if you're not even gonna do like a fluffy little I'm not doing marshmallows. They're
No,
too mushy.
I'm not doing marshmallows. Not doing
You won't even eat marshmallows?
No. No. Yeah, I'm joking about that. All right, so here we get going. We've got our mock this week, and then at the end we're going to predict.
Wasabi.
We're going to predict week 1 of the NFL schedule. We've got a couple odds and ends, and then we will get out of here.
Scott Chisholm just nailed it. You are doing a big, huge bowl of coleslaw.
No,
Yeah,
Yes.
coleslaw was on the list.
That's
too.
not
Yeah.
going to kill you.
No.
And
No.
you're doing a big, big
I
bowl of
can't.
coleslaw.
I'm diabetic. You can't eat cabbage when you're diabetic.
You lie. I'm going to
No,
check
that's-
that. Fact
seriously,
check?
fact
Really?
check it. You can't eat. You
Oh,
can't
we
eat
got to fact
cabbage
check that. Can
when
anyone
you're
fact check
diabetic.
out there?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
If you're
I get it,
diabetic,
yeah.
you can't have. You cannot have.
You're not allowed to eat coleslaw. My doctor specifically told me you cannot have cabbage
Specifically.
because I'm diabetic.
Right before I walked out.
Well, there's-
hey, no coleslaw.
No coleslaw. Hey, by the way, just before you go,
Hey, look at this. Look at this.
here's your
Eat-
parking validation
Wait,
sticker,
wait.
and you can't eat coleslaw.
Eating
Okay.
extra cabbage, broccoli, or spinach may reduce the risk of developing diabetes.
See? You're doing coleslaw.
No.
A whole
Ray,
bowl
we're
of
just
it.
we're just trying to save your life. All right. Anyway, we'll talk about
Oh
it.
my god!
Yeah.
You
Here we
can't
go.
do coleslaw. That's the easiest thing
We're
ever.
we're starting with round 1 of the mock draft, and because Chris is going to be talking to the people in the chat room, we are going to start off with Chris's. Andy, do you have any other rules that you want to talk about before we get going?
Yeah,
here?
we'll just run it through. So we're each gonna we're only picking the top 15. So I'm really sorry if you're a fan of a team that's really good, or you traded your pick away. It really draws out near the end of the first round. So we're doing top 15 with trades, and the rules are once the draft is finished and Ray's hosting a little party where we're all gonna find out by pick 15 who the winner is, but we're gonna get points for picking the player in the right draft spot, and then we're also gonna get points for having the right team picking them, so that we can predict trades. So that's it. Chris, you're gonna
Sounds
run us
good.
through your top 15. Let's hear it.
So to start us off, I thought to do a little bit of good luck. We got to put my mock song on. All right,
Okay.
this gets me in the mood to be able to share.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mocking draft. Okay, let's go. The very first one off the board. Yep, that just happened.
Oh, we know. Oh, we know.
Wait, do we need this or?
No, because it's
All
not working.
right, yeah.
No, because it's
Oh.
not working. All right, let's
All
go.
right, so my very first one right off the board I think this is going to be unanimous. It's going to be Sam Darnold.
Okay.
Off the board.
Sam Darnold's
I'm not
number
buying
one.
into all the different Allen talk out there.
To the Cleveland Browns? You don't have someone else trading up?
No trades yet. I will make sure when I say a trade, it'll say trade is on board here.
All right, Browns. Darnold.
Mark it down. You got it?
It's done. Next.
Okay, second pick, Giants. Barkley.
Giants are taking Barkley.
Barkley's a pick. I think they're going to be looking to win now, and I think that's why Barkley is the pick. Especially if they pick up Des Bryant, I think it even makes more sense that they're going to pick even another asset for our buddy Manning to finish up maybe a couple years there to go for the win.
All right, Barkley at 2.
Jets have moved up for one reason, and it's QB. What QB that are taken? I'm hoping to God it's going to be Allen, but it won't. It'll be Josh Rosen.
Josh Rosen. Okay.
Yeah, he'll be off the board.
At 3.
The next one.
This is pretty similar.
Yours?
Yeah, pretty similar.
Oh, boy. Here we go. He stole it from me. Because I put it out too early for you. You got to look at my list.
No, I've got writing it down as
Wait, and you put on there when I showed you my list.
Let's not worry about it. I'll do mine in between.
He put LOL on my list.
Well, that's because of your... We'll see. We'll get to it.
We'll get
Number 4, the Browns are on the clock.
Number 4, because Barkley's gone, this defense is going to be deadly with them. It's going to be Chubb.
All right.
You're going to have both terrorizing defensive ends on both sides. That defense is going to be scary.
Super exciting.
Right, Jack?
All right. Number 5.
5. We got a trade.
We have a trade alert.
First trade. We say Denver trades with Buffalo.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yep. And Buffalo trades up to take Baker Mayfield.
Baker. All right.
You recording all this, Andy?
I got it.
Okay.
So Buffalo trades up to 5. They sit.
I'll let you digest that. So what do you think of our first 5?
I mean, there's nothing outrageous here.
Nothing.
I'll give you my thoughts on Barkley at 2 and why I don't think that will happen later.
Okay.
But so far, nothing outrageous.
Okay. So we go to 6, Colts. I got Quentin Nelson. We're going to have some protection there. The offensive line is atrocious.
Yep.
Tampa Bay. There's some debates on what corner is going to go first. I keep hearing Ward, but I really like Fitzpatrick, from Alabama. I think he goes, and I know they're listing him as a safety, but I think he's fast enough to play corner, and I just like him as more of a ball hawk. I go him. Bears, they need a corner. I go Denzel Ward. San Fran. I know there's San Fran on board listening. I'm going to go with Davenport. They need some defensive end help.
Mm-hmm.
Oakland's going to take the linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds. Now we're to the sexy pick, and I think could be one of the most impacting picks of the night. Could be Miami, Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
That's sexy.
Yeah, it is.
I'm surprised you had him that deep. I thought you would be
I always
Jackson up high there.
No, I always had Jackson always deep in any of my conversations. He's a risky, but I think he could be one of the guys that are legitimately going to be one of the best quarterbacks in this draft, but he's risky because of his style of play.
Yeah.
So I don't think he'll go high because of that.
And he hasn't, he's been meeting with teams and stuff, but he's a local guy in Miami, so he's been allowed to visit there, and you can really get infatuated with a quarterback who can run around fast and everything is actually there in your building more than others. So, yeah, I could see that for sure.
The dude can throw, and I don't care what, some people are he's more of a runner. No, the dude can throw.
He can. He also is a runner. You can't.
An amazing runner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has more rushing attempts in his college career than he has pass completions.
I'd still, you look at
He's
the
a
type
runner.
of production compared to the top, he can put up the similar production to the top QBs and put up those same running stats. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Dynamic.
He'll be out in week 5.
Well, that's
Deshaun Watson.
That's the knock. Risky. Whatever. Yeah. But trade. So now we're at Denver. They pick up the next best corner. Josh Jackson is what I'm feeling. I've seen a lot of almost a good majority of draft picks that are out there that Washington is going to take that Vita Vea.
Vea, yeah.
Well, he's from he plays in college in Washington too.
Well, and so they have they have a defense that could use that big giant nose tackle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Green Bay, I think, is going to go to it's funny that he drops this far down as Derwin James.
Okay.
I think he could be arguably one of the better picks in this draft too.
pure safety though. So and they tend to not go too high. So that makes sense.
But he's so good. I think he could sneak up there where that Fitzpatrick and Ward or something like that. He could sneak into that just because how good he is. And then last is Arizona. It will take the final quarterback as the Josh Allen, and I think it makes a lot of sense that Allen goes there because he has some quarterbacks that are ahead of him. Okay. He can learn the system and then develop into what. But I think it's going to take a while before Allen turns into something, if anything.
Okay. Yep. So Josh Allen slips all the way to 15 in Chris's draft. Wow.
Yep.
I'll tell you, Arizona will be pumped if this happens.
They'd love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything else pretty solid. It all makes sense to me.
Washington State. Yeah, sorry, Scotty. Right. Washington State, not DC. Right. I said he's played in the same area because Washington. Sorry. I had a brain fart. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, he is mocked there a lot because the defense makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want me to go next?
Sure.
All right. So I'm going for it. Every year there's trades. There's tons of trades. There's little trades. There's big trades. And trying to call those trades is really tough. And it can get you, it can destroy your mock very, very early.
Right.
But I don't care. I think there's going to be a lot of trades this year. I'm pretty sure I'm about to predict a record-breaking amount of trades in the top 15. But I'm going to call them all. And if I lose this, it's going to be fun to watch me try to make it through a show eating hot wings. I think they're all very, very doable. None of these are outrageous, but there's a lot of trades. Are you guys ready for this?
All right, let's go.
Buckle your seatbelts, guys.
Can I just ask you something?
Yeah.
Because I did a couple drafts. I did 6 drafts total.
Right.
And I had one where I did a lot of trades too. Mm-hmm. And I just want to know, is the over-under for your amount of trades 6?
No, it's under that. Okay. Like 8 of my 15 players taken will be taken by teams that are in different slots.
Okay, right.
Yeah, right. So it's only four trades overall.
Okay, let's see.
All right, number 1, the Browns, Sam Darnold. I don't buy into any of the Allen stuff. At the end of the day, Allen's tall. Allen has a big arm. All this stuff. Sam Darnold's all those things too. Is he a little bit less of some of them? Sure. But he's accurate, especially when his feet aren't perfect. He's the best quarterback in the draft. And until someone else gets taken, it's Sam Darnold. If it's Josh Allen, by the way, I'm not going to cry. Mm-hmm. Be totally fine with it, but I think it's Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Number 2, trade alert. Listen, the New York Giants, they want to win now, but they also need to get players in the building they can afford to have around. They need to actually bring some players in to support Eli Manning for the next 2 or 3 years, because I agree with you, right? So how do you do that? You got to stop doing that, though.
Yeah, what are you doing?
You got to
beginning of
all right,
Young Guns.
So we got a big trade here. Listen, you say Saquon Barkley. So here's what Joe Banner. Multiple people have said this, but Joe Banner, former GM, came out and said this. Before the Jets moved up to number 3, they actually offered number 6 and 3 second-round picks, and maybe even a little bit more to the Giants to try to get to 2. The Giants said no. So running back, which is the least valuable draft position, right? I think that's known. Now, I get it. Everybody's putting Barkley in the Hall of Fame, but it's a least valuable position. So that's the Giants giving up number 6 and 3 second-round picks for them to retool their roster and get those young players in to help Eli out for the next 3 years. They're giving up that to take a running back. I just don't buy it. The Giants aren't that type of team. They're a very traditional team. I just don't buy it. I think they have another trade, and they've had another trade in place for quite a while now that's a little bit sweeter than a first-round pick and 3 second-round picks, and that's with Mr. Bean, the first-time GM, who put himself in a position of absolute desperation and showed his hand that he needs a quarterback. Well, what better way to get a quarterback than go all the way up and get your pick of all the ones except one? Perfect. The Buffalo Bills are trading up to number 2 in my draft. I really wrestled with the quarterback. I had Rosen forever.
And just so you know, I like that. I really do like if the Bills go up to number 2. I've said from the beginning, I don't care what it costs. Go get what you need, and we'll worry about holes down the road. I'm totally fine if the Bills make that move.
Now, for the longest time, even when I did this, I thought Josh Rosen, and I like Josh Rosen. He's starting to grow on me a lot more now, but his injury concerns bug me a little bit. I have the Bills coming up to get Baker Mayfield at number 2. Arguably also the best quarterback in the draft. He's accurate. He's just what a face of the franchise for you guys to get. Baker Mayfield at number 2. Jets at number 3. I have them taking Josh Rosen. The young kid who can come in. He's smart. You can't be too smart. All that stuff is stupid. He's got the ultimate mentor in front of him, Josh McCown, who will demand his respect immediately. And Josh McCown knows how to handle any young quarterback. And they got Teddy there to maybe try and play. If Rosen isn't ready, though, Rosen's probably the most ready of all the quarterbacks to jump in right away. So I have Josh Rosen to the Jets. This next one is probably going to be the reason I lose this. But every year there's a dinky little trade, a panic trade. Last year it was the Bears moving up from 3-2 to make sure they got Trubisky, which was crazy. But they thought maybe the Browns were going to try to move from their second first-round pick up to get Trubisky. They make the move. Josh Allen's still on the board. Who does Josh Allen remind you of? John Elway. John Elway was on the sidelines for his bowl game. John Elway loves Josh Allen, and in this particular case, Josh Allen is available at number 4, and the Browns are wheeling and dealing. The Browns don't want a running back. Everybody knows what's going on, so there's calls being taken place there. So John Elway calls up and says, look, I don't know if you're fielding calls or nothing. Got to get my guy. It won't cost them much, like a 4th rounder, 3rd rounder or something to jump one spot. The Broncos trade into number 4. And they take Josh Allen. So I've got quarterback in the top 4.
Wow.
Broncos just took Josh Allen. At number 5, the Browns are up, and they get their pick of the best player in the entire draft that's not a quarterback, and they take him, and they pair him up on the defensive line with Myles Garrett. And they take Bradley Chubb at number 5, and all of a sudden every aspect of the defense is better because nothing makes every aspect of a defense better than pass rush. Number 6, the Colts, what do? They feel bad for Andrew Luck. They feel bad for Jacoby Brissett, who's actually trying to fill in for Andrew Luck. And they feel terrible for their fan base for going through what they've been going through. So what do? They make a huge splash for all 3 of them. They help out the fans. They help out the quarterbacks. Saquon Barkley goes to the Colts at number 6. It's possible that the offensive lineman would have been tempting there, but you know what? If there's so many people putting a yellow jacket on this kid already, which I think is nuts, but if he's that good, that's going to put a jolt of energy in the Colts and really help things out as Andrew Luck's trying to get things going again. Number 7, we have another trade. Number 7, Tampa trades out of here. They're kind of an interesting team. They have some needs or whatever, but any position can help them out. Tampa trades out of number 7 with the 49ers. The 49ers jump up a couple of spots, and they take Quentin Nelson, the guard, at number 7. They have a shiny, brand-new, billion-dollar quarterback that they just paid who's only started 7 games or something like that, and they need to protect this guy. Their tackles were okay last year. The interior of their offensive line was not. This guy's awesome. They jump up 2 spots to get him, to convince the Bears not to take him next, whatever. So at number 7, 49ers, Quentin Nelson. Number 8, the Bears take Minkah Fitzpatrick. I think that was the same as your pick, Chris.
Yeah.
I think Minkah is good enough to play corner, but if he isn't, they could still use him at safety, so why not Minkah Fitzpatrick? Number 9, the Bucs had dropped down from the trade with 49ers. They take Derwin James, the safety. Number 9 overall. He is a really, really good safety, and they have a bigger need there than they do at corner. I'm going Derwin James. At number 10, the Raiders take inside linebacker Tremaine Edmonds. I wanted to go with a pass rusher here or an outside linebacker, but I saw a lot of Tremaine Edmonds going to them. They need the inside linebacker as well. This guy's really like a quarterback of a defense potential, so Tremaine Edmonds. Number 11, Miami Dolphins, they're up. Lamar Jackson, just like Chris had, is sitting there for them, and the phone rings.
Arizona.
Phone rings, and they get a call.
Arizona.
And they only got to drop down 4 picks to number 15 because Arizona says, guys, we got to come up there. And the Dolphins, who have Tannehill and have other needs they need to fill and everything like that, they say, all right. Arizona moves up to number 11 and takes Lamar Jackson, the quarterback. I know I was telling Scott Chisholm earlier I had him in my top 10, but I kind of forgot. I thought the trade up was with the Raiders. Number 11, regardless. Listen, I'm not disrespecting the guy. The Arizona Cardinals just traded up to get this kid. They got him to sit behind Sam Bradford for hopefully a year. Let's be honest, probably 2 quarters. And then it's time to play. So we'll see how that goes. Number 12, Giants, who traded down with the Bills, take Marcus Davenport, the defensive end. They need that there. They just shipped off JPP. And he's pretty good. He's certainly no Bradley Chubb, but he's pretty good. Yeah. Redskins, Vita Vea. I couldn't Vita Vea. The Redskins are the only team in the top 15 that I really think needs sort of a. I've heard him called a rich man's Danny Shelton, and I've heard him called a poor man's Danny Shelton. Exactly. Either way, he's giant and he sits in the middle.
Big boy,
and he stuffs the.
He plays in Washington the same as he does, so he doesn't have to move. Right. Sorry, Scotty.
Except really far. Multiple time zones.
All right, I made mistakes.
No, it's no problem. Number 14, the Packers can always use help in the defensive the backfield. They take Denzel Ward, the cornerback out of Ohio State, and at number 15, the Dolphins, who drop back with the Arizona Cardinals, they get probably the best outside linebacker in the draft, I've heard. In who Ray likes to call Rogaine Smith.
Rogaine Smith.
Yeah, no, Roquan Smith to the Dolphins at 15. So there's my draft.
There's your draft. That's a lot of trades.
A lot of trades.
And a lot of trades.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I so bad want to go with this one here because I had Arizona coming up at 6 for Rosen, and the Bills with going up to 4 to get Mayfield too. But
as tempted as you are, just think coleslaw.
I know.
Whole bowl of
but here's the thing, and this is what I really love the Bills at 2. I wanted them to come up to 2 as well. But after the whole Richie Incognito thing, the Bills now have a center and a possibly left guard. They still need help on the right side of their line. I just don't think they can afford to give up 2 firsts, a first next year, and possibly 2 seconds in this year and next year.
Quarterback can sometimes fix everything.
I agree with you. But because of that, I had to go through my drafts and come up with what's called the Ray Conservative Final Mock Draft.
Wow.
The Ray Conservative Final Mock Draft. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
So here we go. I still got some interesting stuff going on here. So it's the first 4 picks, very similar to Chris. I have the Browns. And I really struggled with pick 1. My gut is telling me Allen's going first overall. For a guy that's got an arm that big playing in a cold weather environment, you want a guy with a cannon arm. Josh Allen makes perfect sense to go first overall to the Browns. My gut's telling me it's going to happen, but I'm going conservative. I'm going Darnold.
And the only thing I'll say is there's diminishing returns with arm strength. Once you have more than a certain amount, you have too much. Josh Allen doesn't have a cannon for an arm. He has the Death Star.
A.J. McCarron said something very interesting.
Yeah, it's overrated. And it is.
He said, how often do you see a quarterback throwing the ball 70 yards downfield in a football game?
He said 60 yards, and the only thing I would say to A.J. McCarron is this. He is right. It is overrated. There's diminishing returns, but there's a certain amount of arm strength you need, especially in Buffalo and Cleveland, where you have to throw the ball the equivalent of 60 yards sometimes just for it to travel 35.
Exactly.
So it's not. It is overrated. Like the level of arm strength Josh Allen has is way more than you need anywhere. Yeah. But that being said, anyway, continue on.
You're taking over my draft here.
All right. So you're going Darnold.
I'm going Darnold.
No, but you wanted to go Allen.
Still going.
I'm going Darnold.
But you wanted to go Allen.
I don't think the Giants... Now, I think the Giants were going to trade out of second place if Darnold... Or wasn't going to trade if Darnold was there. But I don't know if the Giants are going to find another trade partner for the value that they're looking for. So they're going to go and fix that offense immediately by putting a passing back in the backfield with Eli in Barkley. That's going to immediately improve that offensive line by giving him outs downfield quick outfield. And I think he's going to help not only the offensive line, help the passing game. He is going to be great. He's going to be that Tiki Barber that they've been looking for since Tiki's retired. And that's what I said that in our original mock. I feel good about this pick at number 2.
Okay.
Then it comes down to the Jets. My gut tells me that they're going Mayfield. But in the last couple days, Rosen is on the rise. And it's funny, when you look at the coaching staff for New York, they're very conservative. And even though I think Baker would be a perfect fit for the New York Jets environment, I think they're going to go with the conservative pick and take Josh Rosen at number 3.
Okay.
I think the Browns, who I think want Barkley at number 4, are going to go with Chubb at number 4. Now, I also think the Broncos really wanted Barkley. I think they wanted to get up the board and get Barkley at number 4. If Barkley's still available at number 4, I think the Broncos will make a trade with Cleveland. Like you said, a quick trade, get up, get their running back, seeing they just cut C.J. Anderson. It'd be a perfect move for the Broncos. But when Barkley's gone and Elway sees Josh Allen sitting there, he's taking him. He's taking Josh Allen at number 5.
Number 5.
At number 5. And now I got my first trade. The Bills come in with the Colts, and they take Baker Mayfield. So there's your top 4 quarterbacks off the board at number 6. Andy, you hit it on the spot with the Bucs with Derwin James. They are going Derwin James all the way to the bank. I don't think they're going to trade out of 7 because they don't want to take a shot at losing him. The Bears, I told you guys this when we did our team mock draft. The Bears need a solid middle linebacker. They've always had that strong face at middle linebacker. They're going to get that guy with Tremaine Edwards. 49ers are up next. They need some help in defense as well. I don't think they're worried so much on the offensive side of the ball now with Jimmy G. And I think they're going to take Roquan Smith there.
Roquan.
There you go.
It's changing up.
Raiders. Raiders got a little bit of an issue. And I think they want to provide some protection for Carr. They want to keep him on his feet. And I think Quentin Nelson goes off the board at number 10 to the Raiders.
Wow.
No love.
That'd be if he slips all the way to 10.
That's massive.
Yeah.
Gruden will be just
He'll
jacked
be
up.
smiling like crazy.
All the way.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I think quarterbacks are going to be heavy. Like you did, I think quarterbacks are going to be heavy.
We have a few comments on it.
Let him finish his draft, and then we'll do all the comments.
Yeah.
All right. Number 11. Mama wants his boy home. And Mama is the agent. Mama gets his way. So Lamar Jackson's going to take a rookie contract with the Miami Dolphins. And for a signing bonus, he's taking a year full of cupcakes for his mother. Okay? Lamar Jackson signing with Miami.
I don't know what any of that means.
Probably should buy her a house.
It's his mama. She's going to be calling the shots, and she wants her cupcakes.
Okay.
The Colts, they need some help on defense. Originally, I thought maybe an offensive lineman here for luck, but they need more help on defense, and this is where I think Daron Payne is going to go, defensive tackle. Redskins, I also have Vita Vea. This guy here is a perfect fit for the Redskins. They're going that way. They're going that route with him for sure. Packers, I'm a little bit different than you guys. I think they're going to look for some offensive help. That offensive line has not been great for Rodgers. He's running for his life all the time. And I think you're going to see Mike McGlinchey come off the board here with the Packers.
From Notre Dame.
Yeah. And then at number 15, the Arizona Cardinals are going to get their quarterback. 6 quarterbacks in the top 15 as Mason Rudolph comes off the board at number 15.
Wow.
There's 6 quarterbacks in the top 15. And I'm telling you, once the quarterback run, you see it every year at draft. If there's a certain position, once that certain position starts going, GMs start panicking, and I think you're going to see 6 quarterbacks go in the top 15.
Wow. There's a big drop off though once you get to there, but yeah, I could see him going in the first round. There's Patriots chatter with him.
I'm going to give you a just a quick rundown here, okay? This is Jeannie B wants on the action. All right, she's from our Canadian show. We're going to give her Cleveland. She's got Josh Allen.
I thought she didn't want to make picks until she had an extra week.
She took it. She challenged.
Why don't we list that on the site? Like here's
I'll just read them real quick. She's got Josh Allen. She's got Bills coming up for Mayfield at 2. Jets, Rosen. Cleveland, Barkley. She's got Denver taking Darius Griffin. Arizona coming up for Darnold at 6. Tampa Bay, she's got Chubb. Chicago, Quentin Nelson. San Fran, Colton Sutton, the wide receiver. Raiders taking Rogaine Smith again there. Miami, Fitzpatrick. Giants are going to be taking Lamar Jackson. That's interesting. Washington, Tramar Edmonds. Green Bay, Denzel Ward. And the Colts, Derwin James.
Very interesting.
There you go. There's Jeannie B's.
No, we got a bunch of guys. Like, out of all the picks,
yeah,
yours got the most chatter.
Yeah, good.
All right. So I'll just go and highlight. Someone else was talking, and I had a really good. So Scotty mentions that with Denver, no way that they go QB. They just paid Keenum. My thoughts too. No. I just feel they won't go that way.
His contract's not that big. It's not a big exit for them to get out of that contract.
It's just I'm with them. I'm leaning on that side too. Is they put a lot of money into picking up a good quarterback, free agent. There's other needs that they could do to booster the team. I say they do that first before they go that way.
He's John Elway's clone, Scotty. I'm telling you.
Johnny Elway. Listen to this. So what if they lose a little bit money on the quarterback they got? You're getting a quarterback that could come in and be your franchise for the next 15 years. Elway doesn't care about that.
I respect that opinion, but to say there's no way, there's plenty of ways. That's a bold statement.
Well, and I think they all think that same thing too. I think it's more. They're going to be very shocked. I'm going to be very shocked too if they take a QB. Yeah. But if they don't, I'll see the logic is obviously
yeah. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if they take a QB that isn't Allen. I think Allen.
So big one. You took a hit from a couple comments. Eric Murray, Adam Hotshot says no way Nelson gets past the Bucs, and there's definitely no way it gets by the Bears. Nelson's too big of a talent, and they have a big need. They got to protect these quarterbacks.
Well, that's why I had the 49ers trading in front of the Bears up to 7 to get him.
I really struggled with Nelson what to do with him, but really when you look at Bucs and the Bears, and here's the first thing about the Bucs. Andy talked about this in our last show. I did the same thing. There's a site that I've been going to, and you can compare. I compared 40 mock drafts across the board, and I would say that 80% of those drafts have Derwin James going to Tampa Bay. And I feel very confident that that's where the Bucs are going to reach. They want this safety to come in.
It's not a sexy pick, is that offensive line?
Yeah.
But that offensive line can do a lot of damage
absolutely.
in a good way. That's why I think he's too good of a talent. Yeah. I don't think he gets past the Colts, to be honest. Yeah. But anyways, and then the only other one that you got hit from is on yours is the top corner, Denzel Ward. You didn't have him.
No, he did. Because of the quarterback heavy. In all my other drafts, I got him in the top 12. But because of this,
it's a big drop. Because
of all these quarterbacks going off the board, both Fitzpatrick and Ward didn't make my top 15.
They're saying Adam followed up with, don't disagree with the need, but the O-line's a bigger need. They had no running game, so they need something to bolster that, and that's what Nelson does. That's what he's known for, bull rush. Right.
Yeah.
He's going to go through. I agree.
So what did the rest of us take hits on? I'm sure mine got lit up.
Actually, yours was fine. I think they see it as what I see it too, if I'm like the people. But I think you're going out on a limb on some of your trades. Trades are always the riskiest thing.
Absolutely, so, but I'm not scared of them.
Yeah,
and all my trades made sense.
There's a lot of logic to it. So if it happens, it's not going to be like, what? That should have never happened. It is less. I would say I would lean more towards that's not going to happen because there's a lot of things that have to happen for a trade to happen. Mm-hmm. But if it does, you're gonna be that's gonna be one of the best drafts I've ever seen drafted in my life.
You either look like a genius or you eat hot wings.
But
every year, like even last year, 6 of the 15 players were picked in different spots. There were trades, and you got to make this interesting. So, so I decided to call a bunch of trades that I thought legitimately could make sense. Do I think there's a high probability that all 4 of them are going to happen? No.
I really think Arizona's coming in too. I really thought Arizona's going to come in and take a run at Rosen. What do you guys think about this rumor about the Patriots coming in the top 10? I hear this over and over and over again. They don't have enough to come into the top 10.
I think they'd be bold enough to throw away a lot of assets to go up because look half of the seasons that they come in, they don't even have the number one from all the cheating they do. So I think they could try to leverage 3 number ones.
But top 10,
it's gonna be a lot.
But top 10, like you're right.
There's
like,
there's too many other teams. Like
they have
Arizona.
those 2 late first round picks. They're gonna have to give up so much more on top of that.
Yeah.
And listen, we're getting close to the end of the Brady era, so these picks are going to be much more important to that team. So to leverage all, I guess you could do 1 more year, 2 years of dumping all these picks because you still have Brady.
Who picked Davenport?
I did.
I like Davenport too. I thought Davenport to the Colts or Giants.
I have Davenport going to the Giants at 12 after they trade down with you guys.
That's what I had too.
And Scotty makes a good point in that too. Why trade Jimmy for a second if you're gonna trade all these things up to go up for a quarterback?
Well, because
Jimmy right on your
because
but that's more though.
It's because the Patriots aren't doing anything that makes sense right now. Bill Belichick traded Jimmy for a second to spite his owner. Like he was
pissed off.
He could have got so much more for Jimmy, but he likes Jimmy way too much and wants to see him succeed and handpicked the spot to send him. And it might end up biting him in the butt, but there's how many more years?
He doesn't care. He's ready to retire anyways.
Yeah, that was just they hand delivered him for a third of what they should have got for him.
All right, there's our mock picks. Nick, what did you think of that whole segment?
Awesome.
If you had to lean, for somebody winning this mock draft, Nick, do you got anybody?
Winning?
Yeah, winning this mock draft.
I think I'm kind of leaning towards Chris's picks.
Yeah,
sorry. But I'm thinking Andy's going to be eating the hot wing.
Well, I'm glad that
taking a lot of risks though.
I'm glad that Nick is leaning towards Chris's picks because Nick thought those were all hockey players. So yeah, this is.
I think I'm safe because honestly, that not to pick anyway. I think Nelson and Ward dropping down that's a big drop. Like the top corner usually always goes top 10.
Yeah. Now remember, even if all your players are a little bit closer to where they're actually picked,
wrong.
They got to be picked in the spot by the right team. So this is going to be interesting. I don't think any of us are going to have high points because the draft is so unpredictable.
No, remember last year we did this. We didn't have a competition, but last year when we did this,
we did horrible too.
We all three of us did terrible.
Can we do one thing? I'm going to do one spin on it.
Okay.
So after the 10, if we're all because really after the second pick, we could all be wrong of where they go, right? After everything's all done, whoever's all gone, most of the guys gone in the top 10, that's the tiebreaker.
If we need a tiebreaker,
that's what I'm saying.
Sure. If we need a tiebreaker, then it's whoever called the most correct players in those 15 picks. Because we did 15.
Okay, yeah, in the 15.
Sure. I think there's going to be a clear-cut winner, but again, I don't think. But the way I see it, high risk, high reward. If I have to eat hot wings, that's fine. But guys, if I win this with all that, I'm going to be Ric Flairing it in here. You guys aren't even. I'm going to wear shades for the show, and my answer to everything's going to be woo.
All right, let's get to a couple odds and ends here. We are running tight for time, but there's a couple subjects I want to talk about. First of all, you guys know how much we love to talk about the New England Patriots, and there's lots of great stuff going on in New England right now. And all the OTAs open this week, and there's no Gronk and no Brady. But here's the interesting thing: Brady's overseas somewhere playing football on a beach. Gronk is on basically the New England Patriots property at this TB12 facility. Neither one of them showing up for OTAs. Is there anything to be concerned here, or is this just Patriots way?
Patriots way. It doesn't matter.
Just noise. They'll be fine.
Just noise?
Yeah. But it is interesting to see. There's more and more noise adding up, and eventually it is going to be something, not too worried
The
yet.
real interesting thing for me is Danny Amendola. Danny Amendola has been doing a lot of talking since leaving New England, and
I haven't been following him.
He was on Instagram in his car the other day talking to somebody, and he talked about how bad it was playing for Bill Belichick, how good it was in some ways, but how bad it was playing for Bill Belichick. Yeah. So there's some smoke there. There's definitely some smoke there.
I think Brady's just with that Alex Guerrero. I think he's just sitting with his trainer. I think he's going to get more out of that anyways. He praises this guy, and I think tight end, we just said it.
Gronk?
Yeah, Gronk. he's going that way, and I think that's where he's getting a little bit more of attitude. I think from the I don't think Bill Belichick likes the Guerrero, because I know he banned him from the sideline a little bit. There was some drama that way.
Well, because all the players, I think, wanted to suck up to Brady a little bit and do the Brady thing, and so many of those players were going to this trainer of his that
that's right.
The team's trainers were, what
are we doing here?
feeling disrespected, I guess, a little bit. So yeah, it's a weird situation. We're never going to see a situation like this again after it ends.
Yeah.
I mean,
let's talk Des Bryant real quick. Where's Des Bryant going, and how much money does this guy think he's going to get?
I say that I really think the Giants are going to pick him up.
Yeah,
I think the Giants are going to try to go in. He supposedly there's a lot of rumors that that's his choice. He'd love to be with OBJ. I think that would be a pretty awesome tandem. You got the guy that can stretch the field. You got a guy that can heavy red zone threat, and then Barkley in the background. Correct. I think that triple threat would be amazing.
Yeah.
My first thought when I saw it happen was the Packers. I know he says he wants to stay in the NFC East, and potentially one of them will want him. The Giants. As a Browns fan, I had Pat Shurmur as my head coach for 2 years, and there was never a more weak. That's strong. That's Matt. He doesn't handle players well. He doesn't handle media well. He doesn't handle anything well. So you bring Des Bryant into the building with OBJ, who's going to be sticking around for 1 year and disgruntled, and everything that's going on in there. They're going to have to hire him like a personal shrink to stand on the sidelines with him. I'll say Packers right now, but I mean, I kind of hope he ends up in the NFC East. That'll be interesting.
I think it'd be neat to see him with the 49ers. 49ers would be a fun pick too.
I'm kind of watching Houston a little bit. Keep an eye on Houston.
Yeah, that's another way to kind of stick it to Dallas in a different way, to stay within the state. So we'll see. I think he still demands some decent money, Ray, but he's not going to make $10 million a year.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
I'm thinking $3.5-4 million, somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah,
those are the Skins, a prove it deal. Skins, eh?
Let's talk a little Buffalo Bills.
Okay,
Richie Incognito. What a week it's been for this guy.
Yeah,
Baltimore. This guy fires his agent on Twitter.
Yeah,
retires on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Then he unretires on Twitter. And now he's asked the Bills to release him on Twitter. This guy's doing a lot of communication on Twitter.
Yeah.
What's going on with Richie Incognito?
Well, good on Richie, because, for the longest time, the only thing interesting about him was his name. And now the only thing people really know him as is a mediocre guard who bullies people. And he's making some news, so it's great. I mean, he's a solid guard, far from the best in the league, far from the worst. He's up there. I don't know. I guess he was playing some games with the Bills thinking the stakes would be higher, and no one cares, including the Bills. So, yeah.
Interesting. Chris, anything on Incognito?
I just think it's a leveraging move of I think they restructured his contract. He's pissed off after seeing how well Bean reshuffled the deck and how much cap room he was able to find. And then I think Incognito in second glance of geez, why did I take a hit at all?
Yeah.
They need me. Why did I do that? I think it was a bad business move, and now you're seeing a result of, kind of a baby of it's a big hit. I think he's losing $2 million.
It is, but I mean, you signed off on it.
But if you're sitting there on the other side saying, I want to do what I can to help this team, so I'll restructure. Then you see how much that you saved. You got to have the same kind of thoughts. I'm at the end of my career. I want them to be able to bring some good players in, and you brought that much cap room. That'd be a tough one to swallow, especially you've been to the Pro Bowl how many times with Buffalo since being with us?
Yeah,
and it's a big need. Man, it would be a bitter pill. Okay. I get it. I think it's in hindsight too bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Instead of final thoughts tonight, we're gonna just I'm gonna ask a quick question here to you guys, and let me know what you guys think. The NFL's releasing their schedule tomorrow night on prime time. I mean, what other league releases their schedule on prime time? Let's start with Nick. We haven't heard from Nick tonight.
Oh, there he goes.
There he is. Hey, Nick.
Sorry.
Hi.
Hi.
The last thing you said wasn't too intelligent, so we're going to give you another shot here. Nick, who do you think and where do you think the game will be played? Who do you think the Bills will play in week 1?
Week 1? I don't care. I said the Jets. Away.
Jets away.
On the
Jets
road
away,
against
okay.
the Jets. That'd be fun.
Chris, what do you think?
I think I agree with Alex Burnett when he says I agree with Chris. Thanks, Alex. Thanks a lot. So I think our first team.
What's week 1 for the Bills look like?
Yeah, I think the Jets would be. I'll go something different. I'll go Miami.
Miami home
On the road
away?
or at home?
I'll go home.
Miami home.
Miami at home.
All right, Andy. What about the Browns?
The Browns, it's usually all over the board, and it's every 4 years or so they make us play Pittsburgh in week 1, and we did it last year. So I'm going to say that the Browns are going to play KC in Cleveland. I think our new GM came from Kansas City. It's going to be Patrick Mahomes' first time running the show in KC. Cleveland's got a new team, obviously. I think there'll be a bit of a storyline that they'll try to, hey, it's a way to make a Browns game exciting, I guess. Yeah. So KC in Cleveland.
I'm going storyline all the way as well.
Yeah.
Bills made the playoffs for the first time in 17 years. Why not kick off the season Bills at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yeah.
Oh, there
Patrick
you go.
Dewey
That'll
agrees
be
with
fun.
you.
That's what I picked.
Yep.
All right. First Thursday night game of the year. Okay, because the season always opens on a Thursday night. Who's playing in that game?
One of the Super Bowl. So it'll be Philly against. What would be interesting? 49ers? I don't know if they have the 49ers on their schedule. I didn't look at, I need to know their schedule and how the matchups are going. I think Philly's going to play somebody. I don't think it'll be a Super Bowl rematch.
You don't think? I picked the Pats. I got Pats versus the Eagles.
But are the Pats
Thursday
on the Eagles' schedule this year?
I don't know.
Yeah, see,
I have to double check. Yeah, I have to double check.
So I didn't know you were going to drop that one on us, or else I would have looked a little bit more. So I think the Eagles are going to play on that Thursday night.
Let's go. I'll go Eagles Thursday night. Are you guys Patriots or Eagles on Thursday night?
On this topic, honestly, you're losing me on this one.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, sorry.
I'm one of those.
Right.
Blue team.
Again.
He just wants to play his amazing sounder from his phone.
All right, guys.
Doesn't even hold the speaker of his phone up to it.
Well, that is our.
I was doing the video.
That is our mock draft episode. Anything you guys want to be? Anything before we get out of here?
I got a message to Jeannie B.
Jeannie B.
Ever since I heard your mock draft, Jeannie B, I've been wondering who Darius Griffin is. I've never heard of him. I don't think he's in the draft, but if Darius Griffin goes
It's a long snapper. That's a long snapper.
If Darius Griffin goes top 15, we're going to be here for it. We're going to know you win it all.
Win it all?
You win it all, because I don't know who that is.
He's the backup left guard.
Backup left guard.
Darius
from Syracuse.
Griffin.
High school.
Oh, high school.
Yeah.
High school.
All right, guys, that's
High school in
it.
Syracuse.
We'll be back next week before the draft. And don't forget, if you're a local Monktonian here and you want to come out and hang out with First Down Sports on the night of the draft, give us a message. You're more than welcome. Have a great night. See you next week.
See you guys.
She's all lit up, hair and makeup. She's out every night. She's drinking pesticide. She's up and gone again. It's not a boyfriend. They're not the kissing kind. They're just some friends of mine. I know that you've been watching him.